Your information station. WTIM.
Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. Find those streams online on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube at WTIM TV. I have the Pawnee School District in studio. That includes Pawnee Grade School Principal Chris Henneman. Great to have you here, Mr. Henneman.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's great to have you in studio. Also have longtime guest superintendent Tim Groneville. Great to have you back here, Mr. Groneville.
Thank you. Good morning. How's it going?
Good morning. So, you know, I see that you brought a guest in this time as opposed to our normal conversation, which I love because I get to hear more about the stuff going on around your district. So what can you say about the grade school at Pawnee School District?
Well, and I'm obviously going to hand it over to Chris. I figured after a couple months of listening to me that people kind of got tired of listening to superintendents, so thought we'd mix it up just a little bit today. But Chris has been with me as administrator for 5 years. I actually was his principal when I went to Pawnee 12 years ago. We coached against each other. We've known each other a long time. I think he still considers me a friend, even knowing me all this time. So I do appreciate that. But you know, he's new to the principal position, but been in the district a long time. So, you know, I thought it would be great for him to talk a little bit about what's going on in the grade school and his experiences.
Well, yeah, tell me a little bit about your experience. I understand you've been a part of the school district for a very long time, as Mr. Groneville alluded to.
Yes, actually 27 years. This is my 27th year. And before that, I actually student taught in second grade with Tanya Walker. So that was kind of what got me to Pawnee. Didn't know where Pawnee was before that. My 3 kids have gone through there and been successful. And I just really believe in what we have in Pawnee. I think we provide a really good education. It's a smaller setting. We've had lots of kids that go on and be successful. You know, some people think you need to go to a huge school for that, but I think we have a very good product in Pawnee. And our pre-K just got the Gold Circle of Quality rating for our pre-K, so that's good. Mm-hmm. Our kids are, doing very well. Excited about my staff. We've had some new hires over the last few years, and I really like the direction we're going. And as a whole, as a district, we're doing a lot of really good things in the last couple of years. A lot of improvements that we've been waiting on for quite a while. So I think you're seeing a lot of good things from our school district right now.
What does the Gold Circle of Quality mean?
Well, that's the highest rating with when you have your compliance visit for pre-K. Mm-hmm. And by the way, if anybody in Pawnee is listening, we do have more openings in pre-K right now because we did get additional funding from the state for our pre-K grant. So if you're listening and you have a pre-K eligible student, make sure you call the school and we can get you set up for to talk to somebody about that. So
that's fantastic. So how many spots do you think you have available?
I think we have 7 or 8 right now. We have most of the extra 25 already filled. We've had a waiting list, so it's exciting to be able to serve more kids.
So yeah, brought him on. Great plug there for that. We would love to fill our program, obviously. And
right.
Our pre-K has been an outstanding program on our grade school, and Chris has really taken a handle on that. So I mean, it's continued in his leadership as well.
In your knowledge, what's so important about pre-K?
Honestly, right now, I think socialization is huge, especially coming out of a pandemic where a lot of kids didn't get out and interact, socialize with other kids. We see that in kindergarten too. We have some issues that, we really have to work on the socialization, just being able to play alongside somebody and share, but also they work on the academic things too. But I just think it's really good to, get kids out and interacting with other kids.
Right. And they can learn some of the basic stuff like writing their name, the alphabet before they get into kindergarten, and that gets
counting, the basic stuff, very important. Yeah.
Right. All that stuff that they don't have to learn in kindergarten, and they can start focusing and learning more towards achieving first grade status once they get to kindergarten.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Anything else that you want to say about your preschool program?
Just like I said, we're doing really well, and I like the direction we're going. Our teachers work really hard, and we've had a lot of people really happy with the grade school and the pre-K. So,
Mr. Groneville, from an administrator standpoint, I mean, you got to be thrilled.
I am. And the state has promised for years that they want to pump all this money into early education, but they really hadn't come up with any new dollars. And finally, this year, and we'd been applying for this grant for years to try to be able to expand our program. And finally they came up with some money. They guaranteed it for 2 years. So any opportunity that we can get our kids to start school off on the right step is obviously a positive. And as we've talked before, when I've been on in the past, just schools are, as far as the curve because of COVID, especially that early childhood. So being able to expand our pre-K program for at least the next 2 years is outstanding for our district. And again, we have an outstanding program. As I said, Chris has done a great job. He has created stability on our grade school. We had a little bit of administrator turnover, and with him being there 5 years, and I've already told him he can't retire before I retire, and he's just a tad older than I am, so I know he's seeing retirement down the road, but it's been great for our district to have him down there and help build and expand what our grade school can offer.
Mr. Henneman, you mentioned about how you have some new staff. What are you? Who are you excited about? Who do you want to highlight?
Well, if I do that, you're trying to set me up. If I do that, I'll forget somebody.
Oh, no, that's not my intention at all. I guess I more so just want to know, what positions you were hiring for and how you filled them and how it went.
We had a lot of the specials positions open. We had PE open. We had art open. And so I feel like we've filled all of our open positions with really good people and, student-centered people. And I feel like, they kind of embody what our grade school is all about, and really helping all of the students and believing in everybody and getting the kids to believe in themselves. And especially coming out of COVID, it's so great to have everybody in school now, but it's also important to have expectations for all these kids too, and show them that they can achieve.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I think a lot of the time when we think about the pandemic, we thought about the way it impacted middle and high school students. I felt like a lot of the time when we think of the pandemic and education, we didn't really think about how it went inside of an elementary school. So, I mean, it sounds like to me like you're really thrilled to have everything back to status quo.
Yeah, I think that it even has more of an impact at the lower elementary level, because when you're building the foundation for reading and math in kindergarten, first, second grade, and you're not able to do that in person, I think that's very tough. And our district was really good about allowing us we had an extra 2-week summer school at the end of school. And then we had a 2-week summer school prior to school starting. So really some of those kids were getting an extra month over the last 2 summers. Mm-hmm. So they're 2 extra months of learning just to try and catch kids up, because I think that foundational time is very important for reading and math. So I think it has a huge impact at the lower elementary. Yeah. So it's critical to have them back in school.
Excellent. Well, do you have any other employment opportunities that you want to highlight and let other people know about? I know you guys are, there's a carousel of sorts in schools for employment. So is there anything you're looking for right now?
Well, we have an open position for grade school, a general music teacher, along with a chorus teacher, but we are interviewing for that currently. So,
okay. All right. Well, anything else that you really, let's see. We went through that. I think we're going to go ahead and take a quick time out here, really, and then we'll continue to talk to Pawnee Grade School Principal Chris Henneman, along with Superintendent Tim Crudeville here on the WTIM Morning Show. More from them after this short break here on WTIM, your information station. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville. You always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first.
WTIM.
I'm Wes Bogenpole, your Christian County State's Attorney, asking for your vote on November 8th. I spent my entire career as a prosecutor. I focused on this career choice ever since deciding to become a lawyer. I knew I wanted to work with law enforcement. I spent the first 7.5 years of my career as a prosecutor in the Montgomery County State's Attorney's Office before becoming your Christian County State's Attorney earlier this year. I would be honored to continue serving you as our Christian County State's Attorney.
Vote for my dad, Wes Bogenpole State's Attorney.
Thanks, June. This ad is paid for by Citizens for Wes Bogenpole.
This is a station editorial. I'm Randall J. Miller, station president. What's old is new again. That's the subject of an article on TheRinger.com headlined, Is Old Music Killing New Music? The subheadline says that the power of nostalgia in pop culture is bringing old music back again. The article by Ted Gioia goes on to say that the song of the summer was Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill from 1985, launched by the most watched global TV show of the summer, Stranger Things, which pays homage to the 1980s. And the writer says that the biggest movie hit of the summer, Top Gun Maverick, is a sequel to the 1986 film. That was 36 years ago. He adds that the 5 biggest movies of the year were all sequels as well. The writer of the Ringer.com article says consumption of new music is down, while the growth is in what's called catalog music or older songs. He adds Wall Street is paying attention. Investment groups are buying rights to old music catalogs dating back to the 70s or even further back than that. Why? Because that's what people are buying and listening to. The writer points out it's the first time in 1,000 years that people are investing in old songs, saying that consumption of older music went from 67 to 73% from last year to this. Well, as the old saying goes, the times they are a-changin'. The global population is waxing nostalgic for memories of simpler times when people actually got along. I suspect Frank Sinatra, Roy Orbison, Marvin Gaye, John Lennon, George Harrison, Andy Gibb, Tom Petty, and thousands more singers that are in rock and roll heaven are having a celebration concert in heaven over the fact that their music is new again. Makes me feel good to play these and many other artists from the last over 40 years on our Miller Media Group music stations. Because right now, in the times we're living in, what's old is new again, and that's a good thing. That's our opinion. We welcome yours. Our email address is editorial@randyradio.com.
Small towns are in, and Taylorville is poised for you and your family to join them. Taylorville has what you're looking for. Find out more, including upcoming events, by clicking the Small Town Taylorville icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Prevent early nursing home placement. Rent one of the catered care suites at Taylorville Estates Assisted Living, 705 South Houston. Stay independent longer. Find out more by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Landmark of Taylorville, proud to bring you this stream along with People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. I have Pawnee Grade School Principal Chris Henneman alongside Superintendent of Pawnee School District Tim Croneville here in the WTIM studios. We're just catching everybody up with Pawnee Grade School Principal Chris Henneman. And, you know, something that Superintendent Croneville here has been kind of pushing Mr. Henneman is you talking a little bit about your baseball program. What's it like being principal of a grade school while also coaching not only the junior high baseball program, but also the high school program as well? What's that like? It must be challenging.
Definitely busy during the seasons. I just feel blessed that they allow me to do that. When I interviewed for the job, I had asked that if they would allow me to continue coaching. It's really been a passion since I've been here. I think I've coached 26 years and coached both. And, you know, just to be able to build that and continue it, you know, I'm not ready to step away. I still love coaching. It does definitely bring challenges, though. You have to have good assistants. I have a great group of assistant coaches. There's just times where there's something that happens at the end of the school day that I have to deal with that I can't be out at practice right away. So to have assistants to start that up and get things going. But I just love it. Interacting with the older kids, as a grade school principal, then I get to interact with the high school kids or the junior high kids, and just to see the successes, and for them to allow me to do that, I can't say enough about the district and, the leadership allowing me to do that.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned it, 26 years as a coach. You got to love it to be going 26 years, I'd imagine, especially with how busy it is. Over those 26 years, what's a story maybe that stands out to you? Maybe even it could involve Mr. Croneville here. I understand you guys.
It doesn't have to involve me.
It could. Well, yeah, maybe tell me about a story that you like to tell about your years in coaching.
Well, the one thing I like to tell is the team that we went 31-7. It was my most wins of any year. We were 31-7. We started that year 2-5. And I knew that we would be pretty good that year. but a lot of people hit the panic button when we were 2-5. And we had a team meeting, and I think the kids were putting extra pressure on themselves because we had been pretty good. And so to go from 2-5 and end 31-7, and we lose in the super sectional game. And I tell all my teams about that, it doesn't matter necessarily how you start. And we tried to schedule some tough teams like Taylorville's team coached by Tim Cradaville.
Yeah.
But we would schedule some really tough teams at the beginning. So, a lot of years we did start out with a couple of losses because we wanted to play some bigger schools and better competition at the beginning and try and get us ready for everything else to come. So I like to tell that story just because it's, it just shows 2-5. A lot of people thought, wow, you guys aren't really good this year. And I knew what we had, but we just had to get out there and play a lot. So,
Right. Shows you the kind of program that you have and have the capability to have that kind of season any year, just based on the kind of talent you have too.
Thanks for not telling any of the other stories. They're actually between our two programs. There's quite a few funny ones, not necessarily all of them that can be on the radio.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
People would wonder why Taylorville would play Pawnee.
Right.
And, we were trying to build our program as well. And Pawnee, for a long time, even predating Mr. Henneman when Don Smart Jesse coached there, they were known as having a very good baseball program, and Chris obviously expanded that and took the program and continues to take the program to new heights. And, for us, it was always a great challenge because they were an excellent program, and we knew that we would get everything that they had. And I always told him, he always gave me a hard time, but I always threw my best pitcher against Pawnee. And we did have some good battles. I would guess over the years, we probably were close to 500 when we played against each other, and he had some outstanding teams that beat us pretty good. And we beat him a few times. So we played junior high as well when I started the program years ago. So, I always knew that I was going to get a very competitive game that we would have to play very well to win. And it was good for us to play Pawnee as well. And we had some things. I've grown up a little bit since that time. Let's just put it that way. But it was fun, and obviously I must not have offended him too much because we're working together now, and obviously we have a great relationship. And he's an excellent coach and excellent principal.
I almost forget sometimes that you coach Taylorville, Mr. Cradaville. Almost forget sometimes.
Some people might like to say that they wish they could forget that I coached in Taylorville, but we did have some success, obviously, and it was very enjoyable and good times.
Mr. Henneman, anything else that you really want to highlight that's going on for you at Pawnee Grade School? Maybe like construction or any upgrades or stuff that maybe has gone on over the past couple of years or so.
Well, like I said before, I'm really impressed with how we are moving forward on some of these projects. The terracing by the football field and the track, gotten a lot of positive public comments about that. We're redoing our locker rooms in the main gym, so that'll be a nice upgrade. New windows, new lights throughout the whole building. We just, with some of the grant money, we're able to do a lot of things that maybe should have been done over the last 10 years, but this has been an opportunity to get some of that stuff done. And so I'm impressed with our leadership and how we're moving forward on some of that stuff, looking at the big picture and how we can really improve the environment and improve the situation in our district.
Mr. Cradaville, what do you want to leave the listeners with before you get back to your busy schedule?
Well, with Chris being at the grade school, and he's a humble individual. And as a great leader knows, obviously, when to get out in front, which he has no problem getting out in front and leading, but also sometimes stepping back and allowing his staff to shine and to show the initiative. And there are a lot of positive things that are going on in the grade school. And I know it's kind of funny today. This tells you how he is as a leader and how he's viewed as a leader in our grade school. We have Red Ribbon Week, isn't it? Isn't that what we have going
Charity
on?
Week.
We have Charity Week going on. Well, his staff, about 99% of his teachers, today is career day, dressed up as him. So it's been very interesting today coming into the school and seeing the staff dressed up as him, and some of them have gone to different levels of dressing up as him. But to me, that shows the utmost respect that they have for him as a leader and as the head of the grade school. So, that's a great way to leave it. That I think we're going the right direction. We've got a ways to go district wide to continue to look to improve and expand like any school district, but I think we're obviously going the right direction.
Superintendent of Pawnee School District, Tim Cruneville, along with Pawnee's grade school principal, Chris Henneman. Thank you both so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Lee Zeldin, Hammer Democrat incumbent